Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019. Steve Sipress here. And this is probably something you're not paying any attention to, and it has nothing to do with your particular business, which is fine. It doesn't apply to probably well over 99% of businesses directly. It's the Respect Act, as was called, was passed by Congress and signed into law a couple of weeks ago. And it, as part of the recent taxpayer, whatever they called it, act. But this Respect Act in particular has to deal with the IRS seizing cash of small business owners, which has been rampant, billions of dollars being seized over the years. And the current Congress, under the leadership of an entrepreneur in the White House and a business owner, put an end to a lot of that for now. Phil is here, good seeing you. And so now this was near and dear to my heart for the 9 years that I was in the door-to-door sales industry. It was almost a pure cash business. And we would deposit large amounts of cash. And as you might know, any time you make a deposit or withdrawal that's $10,000 or more of cash into a bank, that is flagged as a suspect transaction. And if you do these repeatedly, it's known as structuring. When you, and they'll even watch for making a deposit of, say, 2 deposits of $6,000 each to attempt to get around the $10,000 flag. They'll flag those, and that's called structuring, that you're structuring your deposits, your withdrawals, to get around the flagging, the law that is meant to identify illegal or suspect, basically illegal business transactions, drug deals, money laundering, that kind of stuff. But of course, lots of businesses are cash-based businesses. My door-to-door sales business, we, each guy out in the field, we walked around with $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 in cash in our pockets that we came into the office with at the end of the night, and to check in. And sometimes, I had offices with 20, 30, 40, 80, 100 people in them. That's a lot of cash coming in a night. And besides the, security measures that had to be taken, and guards and armored trucks and, multiple people making trips for overnight deposits and all that kind of big safes in offices and all that kind of stuff. Even still, when we make that deposit, that large cash deposit, that gets flagged. Well, the IRS was seizing money without due process over the years, and that's what this Respect Act puts an end to, is if the business owner believes that the cash was wrongly seized, that there was not any illegal activity going on. So, any cash business, basically, gas stations, car washes, convenience stores, dry cleaning, lots of businesses that are cash oriented, and lots of restaurants, food trucks, things like that. If you're depositing large amounts, you were in danger of having money being seized. And the IRS would do that routinely. So the good news is, even if this doesn't apply to you, the new law is something about a 30-day notice. So if you complain and register a complaint that money should not have been seized, that there was no illegal activity going on in the past, it took years for you to fight to get your cash back. And by that time, good luck. A lot of businesses just went under. Cash is the lifeblood of a business, right? I'm sure you know that. So businesses went under, trying to fight the federal government with basically unlimited funding to destroy small business owners. But with this Respect Act, there is now a new provision that you can file a complaint, an appeal, whatever, about the seizure of the money by the IRS, and they have to respond within 30 days. So if they don't come up with some kind of proof that within 30 days that you were actually making illegal deposits or withdrawals, which again, if you're running, hopefully you're not watching this video if you're a drug dealer. Hopefully you are a legitimate business person, and there are plenty of, like I said, plenty of businesses that deposit large amounts of cash. Then of course they're not going to be able to prove that that was anything illegal or untoward or suspect about it, and you get your cash back. Even 30 days is still a crushing blow for a lot of businesses, but at least it's not the years that it used to be, thanks for this Respect Act passed as part of the overall Taxpayer Whatever Act that was recently signed into law. And what that means for all small businesses, it's another sign that this current administration, for the first time in a while, is extremely friendly to small business owners, to business in particular, but also to small business owners. And that's a big reason why the economy is booming and consumer sentiment is up, and small business, what do they call it? I forget the technical word for it, but people are feeling good. Small business owners overwhelmingly, and of course you should, because you should be cashing in and making money in this economy. Now, if you're not, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It just means something's going on. It might be something that's not fixable, but it might be something that, with a little guidance and somebody that's been around for a while, and I have done it all from, building from scratch multi-million-dollar businesses, and also mismanaging my first multi-million-dollar business. Famously mismanaged it from multi-millions down to zero. So I can spot the warning signs, and I've helped a lot of people over the years, my own businesses and thousands of others, to spot these warning signs and to not collapse and to not be destroyed. And so if you want help with that, you want some fresh eyes looking at your situation, sometimes it's really just something really simple that, a lot of times I do these strategy sessions. By the way, you go to helpfromsteve.com. That's me, Steve. Go to helpfromsteve.com. I'll help you out. And a lot of times the response I get on the other end is like, oh yeah, I knew that, I forgot to do that, or of course I should be doing that, or thank you very much, whatever. So it could be something real simple, it could be just a quick call. But I will get on the phone with you and I'll help you spot it and hopefully save you from struggling or not joining in and jumping on the bandwagon of this booming economy, because you really ought to be. You got to make hay while the sun shines, right? You heard that saying. Well, the sun is shining overall. So if it isn't shining for you, go over to helpfromsteve.com and I'll help you out, or get help from somebody else who's an expert in spotting issues in small businesses that can help make money, and they can save you from having a hard time making money or even losing money. And so even though the economy is clearly in favor of business, the Congress basically does nothing, as we all know, here in the U.S., but at least they did this. So they did a pro-business thing and government bureaucracy, which is monstrously out of control and is pretty much no hope for ever curbing the growth of the federal government and its impinging on freedom of people. I mean, that's probably just, nothing to do to stop it. But in this case, one little thing was done, and it was done in favor of business, and particularly a lot of small business owners. So that's great news, and it just shows you why we continue to have the confidence that this administration has our back, and we do have nothing to fear like we did from the past. You didn't build that BS administration that hated small business and really made it tough to operate for years. It's not tough now, so hopefully you're chugging along and making hay while the sun shines. I'll be here every day, God willing, to help you do that. Speaking of which, I'll be back tomorrow on World Wide Web Wednesday. I'll share a business building tip to help you make money on the internet. Thanks for being here today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Over and out. Bye-bye.